Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to another thrilling episode of Skip Breeder's Workshop. Evening all, and welcome to the Skip Breeder Workshop, where this week we will be trying to build a push bike with propeller power. Yes, you heard it right, propeller power. Okay, so yeah, it might not work, it might take off, I might land on the moon, whatever. So, with my trusty marker here, I'm going to try and attempt to show you exactly what I mean. So if we look at the board here, you can see front wheel, the front forks, we've got the frame coming down with the pedals on like this, crossbar, and then you have the rear wheel here, saddle. I might have to move this back a little bit because it's only a little bike that I'm working on, and handlebars here. There you go. And then the idea is to mount the engine on the front rather than the back, because if you mount the engine on the back, then you're in the way and you're interrupting the flow of the air. So if we put it on the front with a rack, say coming off there down to there, then we can have our motor there, and the crankshaft comes out the front like that with our propeller on the front. See that? Well, that's the plan anyway. I've already started it. A mate of mine at work gave me the push bike, an old mountain bike that was his wife's. I don't know if he told her that he was taking it and giving it to me, but hey ho, she'll find out when she goes in the garage. So cheers Mark for that, lovely jubbly. I've got a nice little mountain bike. It's an old steel frame one, which is good because it means I can weld bits to it. If it was an alloy one or carbon fibre, which most of them are these days, excuse me, then you need specialist welding equipment, a TIG welder or something like that. So yeah, an old metal framed mountain bike, great, weld what you like to it, blah 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 blah. So anyway, Mark gave me the push bike last week. I stripped all the brakes and gubbins off of it, so it was basically a bare frame. No gears on it, taken all the cables off, took all the stickers off, so it really did quite rough. Look, there's a box of bits there, with all the bits and pieces I took off of it. So the first thing I needed to do really was wait for the engine to come through, which I didn't have last week from Japan, or China, sorry, China. Eyes go the other way I think. So yeah, the engine came through this morning, which was damaged. They'd obviously dropped the box. It went from China via Gran Canaria, the Canary Islands, to here. And when I looked at the box, I thought someone's been kicking it around the floor. I opened the box up, the spark plug's all snapped off, and all the lead to the spark plug is all split. So it's not too sad. It was only 40 quid brand new. It's a little 49cc mini moto engine, which has got a centrifugal clutch on it, so it does away with the need for a clutch, lever, clutch, blah 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 blah. So yeah, so that was the motor. The propeller I got from eBay for, I think it was 10 quid, something like that. It's only 1 foot in diameter. Something I've learned is the dimensions of a propeller. This one was 12 by 7, which means it's a 12-inch diameter, and it moves forward 7 foot every 1 revolution, something like that. Anyway, not quite sure if it's big enough yet, but I've ordered another one which is 28 inches in diameter, but we'll go with the small one first. So yeah, I might as well let you see what I've been up to so far. Oh yeah, look at that, my friends. So yeah, so there's my mate Mark's donation, his wife's mountain bike. There's the little mini motor engine with the prop on the front, and I've been knocking up the exhaust today, which sort of curls round and goes down sort of level with the crossbar frame down there. So, but these pieces of metal I just found, they're just little skinny bits of rebar. I want to try and make it as light as possible because this is all fixed to the steering head, so when you steer this all turns with it. As you can see, that's what's left of my spark plug, and inside the cap it's all split as well, but no big deal, I can soon change that. That little lead there I do believe is just for a kill switch or an on off switch, something like that. Yeah, so what I did was you got a little cog on there that was for the mini moto, so all I've done is welded a bolt onto that, and then I've mounted my prop onto that. I've left this sticking out at the front here because I want to try and get a little nose cone like they do on aeroplanes. The throttle I had left over from an old mini moto that I had, but I don't know if I'm going to use it. I've ordered a thumb throttle from China, so that's probably going to take about 2 years to get here. You know, the stuff you get from China is not bad. It's very cheap, but the downside is it takes forever to bloody get here, so I might use that throttle. I need a petrol tank, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the petrol tank up here somewhere just behind the engine, so it's just slightly higher, so gravity feed down there into the top of the carburetor. I don't know if you can see that. There's the little carburetor feed there. Throttle cable's going to go in there, connect up with the slide. You've got everything else on there. You've got a fuel tap there, and you've got a choke lever there. So at the front of the engine you've got a little centrifugal clutch, so as soon as the engine starts spinning up, gets up to about 1000 revs, it'll engage and start spinning the prop round. But that is about it for now. I did have problems with the exhaust because it's such a awkward position. I don't know if you can see, I've got a solid steel plate for the base for the engine to sit on, and then just welded these reinforcing bars onto it, which left the manifold. You don't get an exhaust with it, you don't get that plate, so I've had to make that plate up round there and find some bolts for it. And then this was just an old scrap piece of tubing I found. It's quite a good wall thickness on it, and it had a couple of curves in it already, so what I did is I just chopped it, welded. I mean, it don't look very pretty at the moment, but what I'll do is once it's all up and running, I've got it all done, I'll strip it down again and do all the pontification that makes it look very beautiful. So yeah, I've decided, I'm bidding on a couple of items on eBay at the moment. One is a nice set of handlebars that makes it look like an old flat tracker. And I've ordered, well, I'm bidding on an old Brooks leather saddle as well, so hopefully I'll get that. My only concern at the moment is the length of this pushback. The distance between the saddle and the handlebars is very short because it's a lady's bike and they are very ladylike. I am a man of 6 foot, so I don't think I'm going to fit very well. So there's a couple of options that are open to me. One is maybe cut through these back bars here, bend them back, and then extend this top tube to it and bend this back so that the seat's further back. Or the stem that goes into here from the saddle, I could always come up and go out, so you've got a stem that's a right angle. So effectively what it does is it comes up and there, it goes along there, and then you mount the seat further back. But not decided yet, so I've spent about 3 hours in the garage today. I was going to say Skip Reader's workshop, doing bits and pieces on it, and I'm very pleased so far with how it's going along. So time, it's a bit late for me tea, but I'm going to go indoors for a glass of red wine now, because that's what we do in this country. We're very civilised, you know. Glass of red wine, put my feet up in front of the telly, and I'm going to pet the kitty cat. So see you later, folks, and I'll keep you updated on the progress of the lovely propeller-powered push bike here. Bye.